CBZ is coming from reporting a very fine set of results for the half-year period. May you kindly take us through the performance, breaking down how various income drivers performed in the half-year period?
The pillar to that performance has always been the support that we get from the CBZ customers. That support and the response that they always give us to the various innovative initiatives that we put across to them in terms of product development, distribution channel solutions, and other intervention. It has created this good set of financials. But when you specifically look at the numbers, you will find that the top line was very good in terms of interest income. This was significantly supported by the decline in interest expense, as the group, the bank in particular, has been very aggressive in mobilizing deposit from various sources, thereby then diluting the most expensive deposits. And as a result, your average cost of funds has gone below 5%, which is quite very commendable. And we are going to continue to push this further down. And while it's at the same time, we are also going to bring down our minimum lending rates. We are currently lending at 6%. So the key player then being the volumes in terms of the quantum of business that you are lending out. The second item which was significant on these financials was the non-interest income, which is your non-funded income, transactional banking. This has been significant and largely driven by our innovative CBZ Touch. We've looked at our ways of doing business, and we've changed a lot of areas in terms of distribution, processes, and all these things, resulting in automation of certain processes. So that by nature has gone a very long way in reducing your operating costs. So when you then look at effectively your cost to income ratio, it then responded from 72% to 66%, which is quite commendable. And when you look at the balance sheet, it's quite very big and very performing, 2.1 billion, largely underpinned by financial security and advances on the side, and then deposit of 1.8 billion. That's the summary I could give. Ratios by nature, they are quite misleading, unless if you dig deeper. If you just look at a percentage of something, it could be quite misleading. When you dig deeper, then that's where you understand the value per ratio. Okay. This is now a game of size. The bigger your balance sheet, the bigger your equity, the lower those ratios will tend to behave. So the response is now to do a balance sheet restructuring. Take out certain assets that can stand alone as economic units.
Yeah, sure.
And then see how the response to return on asset and the return on equity is going to hit almost 60-70%. So that when you then put them together under consolidation, then that lower ratio will then be higher. So we are doing that under our property company. By nature, they are going to participate more actively and closer to the ground, which means that the return on assets and the return on equity is going to be much better. The aspect is then to expose your local assets to a different risk profile. So by going into these regions, you then see that it's different income, it's different risk, and given the research that we have done, it's going to impact positively on both a consolidated return on assets and return on equity. There are a lot of introductions that we are doing. On the loan side, we are pushing out a lot in terms of our SME banking. Okay. A lot more products are going to be pushed towards that. Then in terms of non-funded income, there's going to be more introduction of these self-service centers. Sure. The self-service centers is the branch of the future. So you walk into CBZ branch, you download, you do your stuff, you walk out.